How's it going, guys? Day Gaming here, and welcome back to what is the start of Series 2 of the Arsenal Career Mode. We have taken the week's break and we are back again on the regular uploads, like always, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 4 PM UK time. And this season is going to be trying to win the league and trying to get somewhere in the Champions League. As you can see, we've got brand new objectives to try and do. Champions League, they want us to just reach the semi-final. Or not even win the FA Cup, but get to the final of that. I think last season we had to get to the semi-finals, but we didn't manage to do that. They want us to get to the final this time. And they also want us to finish in a Champions League place, which again we was close to doing last season, one win away from that. We have got a youth development, only a medium priority this time, making just under 3 million from youth players, but that's within 2 seasons. So we might not even have to do that, depending on how long this career mode does go on for. Brand exposure being the big one. Again, that's just going to be done through playing games. Only one we've got to do there is earning 342 million through media earnings. So depending on how far we get in the competition, such as Champions League and FA Cup, that will all go to that. We then have 2 high objectives here: domestic success and continental, which we've gone through, reaching the final, the semi-final of the Champions League, a Champions League place and the final of the FA Cup. And financial is low, but that's just finishing with a high profit margin pretty much. So yeah, we need to try and do those. We will send out this scout again because he has now come back, so we'll try and get him back out for the full 9 months. We'll go and get another one as well, because we've got quite a bit of money, as you saw there, 130 million to spend. So we will get another scout just to try and get a few more youth players in. Don't think we need the full 3, but 2 should be enough. We do have 127 million left, so it depends where we want to strengthen the squad. Like we said towards the start of last season, Aubameyang is getting older. Although he was the top goal scorer last season, could be a potential replacement there. We also have Socrates, who's getting a bit older as well at 32. So again, a centre-back could be a replacement. Main options, I think, will be the centre-back and the striker position, to have a look at those. We also need to go and send some of our younger players back out on loan, seeing as they all came back at the end of last season. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we put a few players up on the loan list. We do have some fairly young players still in the squad. We do actually have Saliba back as well, so I forgot about that. So maybe we don't need a centre-back. Saliba is probably just going to come in straight away there. He's only a 74 rated, but he's only 19, so it should be a solid centre-back there. Is 6'4" as well, so definitely has the height. Also going to try and sell some of these older players. I mean, David Luiz, it said he went last season, but for some reason he's still here. I'm not sure if that's because the transfer window wasn't open or something. Socrates, again, we will try and sell him. Mkhitaryan's another one that we're probably not going to be using. Maybe try and sell Callum Chambers, although he does play in a second team. He's 25 and a 76, could potentially get a better player in there. We've got a few players now saying about our transfer listing, Mavropanos being one. They're surprised that he has been listed, but like we're saying now, we can't give him playing time. Again, the same with Socrates, as he's getting a bit older. Before we start this episode, we did go into one of the tournaments. We went for the one with the highest money. As you can see, there are a few decent teams in there. Lazio, who we played in the Europa League final. In AC Milan and Valencia also in our group. So a fairly decent group there. We might play potentially the second team and just try and sim through this. Although it would be nice to win. It's not massively important to play the tournament. Okay, we will sim the first game, see how it goes. If it is like a bad loss, we're using the second team. If it is like a bad loss, then we'll probably play the next 2. We'll go ahead and sim this first one. If it is a bad loss, we'll probably play the next 2 just to try and get some more money and win this pre-season tournament. First game does start off with a 3-0 loss, so yeah, losing quite badly there. Youth team, obviously no chance really against Valencia's first team. Rodrigo getting a hat-trick. We do have an interesting offer here. Lacazette, Milan want to buy him for 54 million. And again, although he is a good striker, it's 29, so getting on a bit as well. Potentially being moved out for some of the younger players that have come back in. If we could try and push for maybe something like 60 million. They're saying we could potentially get 77. We can maybe push for like 65. We'll see if we can sell him. Okay, so they have taken the 65 million for Lacazette, which is big money for a striker that's 29 and probably won't have a massive amount of seasons left on him. So if we can get 65 million, that's pretty big. We also have the loan offers for Smith Rowe. We'll get him out. Everton want to take him on loan. We also have a transfer offer for Mavropanos, who we did list up. 5.5 million, we'll accept that, try and get some more money in there. Before we go into this next game, we are going to try and maybe look for a striker who can replace Aubameyang. Not too sure we actually need to change the team anywhere else. Everyone else is still fairly young, still has quite a lot of time on them. Aubameyang really the only one. So we'll see who we can try and replace there, and we'll be back when we've found some players. Okay, so this is who we have gone and found. We've found 3 potential players here. Mbappe, obviously a very high rated, only 21. Would cost pretty much all of my transfer budget though. I think he would come in at about 100 million. As you can see, they're about 135. So yeah, that's a fairly big one. If we made the offer there, the Lacazette transfer could pay for some of that though. We also have Osimhen, who isn't like massively known, but is a decent striker from Ligue 1. Can definitely score goals. Is 6'1" as well, so not fairly tall, but you know, taller than some players. Has acceleration, sprint speed as well, so is pacey. We also have Haaland, who is now at Dortmund in real life, 6'4", so a tall striker again, and has sprint speed. Definitely one that could be used in the future. I think we could potentially wait to see if the Lacazette transfer goes through. If they give us the money for that, we could make an offer for Mbappe. Like I said, would be most of our transfer budget, would be our biggest signing easily, and he would definitely come straight into the team. Okay, so we are going to play this game against Lazio, seeing as the other game didn't go too well. We'll only show the goals instead of just showing all match highlights. We'll show the goals and then the final score. So hopefully we can get some wins in this. Lazio also didn't win their first game, so we do have a chance here. We'll see how it goes. Okay, then so you would have just seen the goals. As you can see, we did manage to get the win there. Last game is against Milan, who have won both of theirs. We also have a loan offer for Vinicius Junior. He's not going to be going anywhere. We also have a transfer offer from West Ham for Mkhitaryan. They are offering 8.9. We'll see if we can get about 10 for him, just like another million, which again could go towards Mbappe. They're saying 8.9 is the most they want to pay, and they're not changing at all. Alright, we managed to get up to 9.5, so we get about an extra $500,000 on that. So again, if he does go a little bit more money in there. As you can see, Lacazette has sold. The board have allocated 58.5 million to the transfer budget, which means we could potentially try and get Mbappe right now. We'll try and go in at about 103 and see what they say. Alright, so they want 167 million for Mbappe right now, which is a lot. We'll move that sell-on clause down and try and bring this down a little bit. They're not even changing. This is why Karima's stupid. How are we meant to get somewhere if they're not changing at all? Okay, so they have changed a little bit now. We'll pay the 150, which is a massive amount, but for a player like Mbappe, I think it's worth it. And we'll try and just move the sell-on clause down a little bit. So there we go. As long as we can get a good contract with Mbappe now, he will be coming to the club. Okay, so far we've got to here. We've got a crucial squad role for 5 years with no release clause. As you can see, his current wage is 175,000, which is a massive amount. If we try and go maybe 180,000. We try and offer 180,000, which is just above his current, and he has accepted that, which means we are paying Mbappe a very high amount, but we do now have Mbappe in the squad. Coming in at a 91 rated at just 21 years old. What a massive signing that is. Okay, another little thing coming in there. Smith Rowe has gone out on loan to Everton. So hopefully he can go out and grow. I mean, he won't be playing for us this season, but that's not too bad. We're going to try and sim this last game. I think as long as we get a draw or a win, depending on how Valencia do, we could go through here. Hopefully Lazio can pull something out of the bag. We will be using our first team or what's left of it while the rest are on internationals. So there will be a few changes, but still some first team players in there. We'll see what they can do. Okay, so we did get a 1-1 draw. Don't think that's enough to go through, as you can see down the bottom there, Valencia picked up a 3-1 win, which means that we are probably out of this cup. Yeah, as you can see there, we're back onto the Premier League. We do get 1.8 million for that as well. We could have played through it, but I don't really want this episode to run on too long. So I thought it was better just to try and sim it and see how it goes there. Yeah, we've got a few more things coming in here. Mkhitaryan selling for 9.5 million, which means we get another 7.5. And Mavropanos means we get another 4. So we just picked up about another 13 million there. Which after that Mbappe transfer means we're still sitting on 58 million. I mean, it might be hard to now finish with a high profit margin, but depending on how we do in these competitions, Mbappe could now push us very much onto a Champions League final. We also have a transfer offer for Socrates. And now I know it does feel like we are selling quite a lot of our players, but again, he's 32, probably won't be playing much this season. If we can get 20 million for him, we'll let him go out because that would be a decent offer. They're saying this is their final offer. We'll try and go up to 18. I know it's only small amounts, but alright, so they are going to give us 18, so it's only a little bit more, but you know what they say, every little does help. Also have a loan offer for John Jules. Again, another player we'll be willing to let go. So yeah, while we are selling quite a lot of players and just trying to get them out, we still do have a lot of players sat in the club, as you can see here. Quite a few just sitting on reserves, not really doing too much. Squad is looking very strong right now. That strike force is pretty amazing. Werner and Mbappe up there. The next oldest player I believe is Leno, who is 28. So another one that we could potentially look at, but he's still got quite a bit of time on him, so not massively worried about that. For now, I'm not too sure we need to buy anyone. We'll see, can see who pops up, and if anyone does look like an outstanding player, then we can obviously go for that. But for now, I don't think we actually need to sign anyone. And so there we go, John Jules loaned out, Socrates has been sold. Bellerin has another offer in for him, someone we're not going to be letting go. He pretty much plays every game if he's not injured, so he's definitely not going anywhere. Also have another loan offer coming in for Nketiah, someone else we will be willing to let go. He's only 21, 73 rated again. Hopefully if he goes out, he can continue to grow. Just pick up some more ratings while he's out there. Chelsea trying to get Saliba. There's no chance we're letting him go. He is definitely going to be starting this season. I'm not sure if we put him in our starting squad. Yeah, we have. So we've got Saliba and Tar at the back there. Okay, so Nketiah has been loaned out. We also have a transfer offer for Guendouzi. Everton coming in again. I believe that's the assistant who gives you advice there, saying we could potentially get 23 million for him. Again, he is young and a 79 rated, so not a bad player, but is he someone that we're going to fully use? I'm not too sure. If we could take like 20 million, then let's say 16.5, we can get more than that. They're still moving, 17.5 we're now up to. Okay, so we have managed to get 20 million for Guendouzi, which is not bad business at all. We do have some scouting updates coming through already, which is good. And like always, we're only keeping the ones which have a 90 plus potential. Which means so far we're left with these three. Again, still got a wide range of ratings and potential. This guy could potentially be a 72 rated, started off at 16, which would be very good if he is. In that position, there's going to be a striker, right? So we do have that scout report with 3 players left on there. We also have this other one coming in, which will do the same. Not quite as strong a one here, only 2 players with a 90 plus, and he's only just on the 90, so probably will drop below that. Guendouzi did manage to get sold there, 20 million, we get another 16.5. Palace want to try and buy Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson, not really someone we want to let go. Not really playing too much because we do have Pepe, but Reiss Nelson is a solid player, so we do want to try and keep him. And as you can see, we are now up to the Premier League, which is probably where we're going to leave this episode. We'll leave the Premier League for next episode. Bit of a different one to start off. Hardly any gameplay, just showing the few goals in the one game we did play. Didn't really manage to do too much in that cup, but we have made our biggest signing yet. Mbappe coming in. Look at that strike partnership right there. Mbappe and Werner. Although Aubameyang was top goal scorer by quite a way, last season. He is getting a little bit older, so obviously had to change that. And Mbappe's definitely a massive signing. Hopefully he can do stuff in the Premier League. That is where we are going to leave the start of Series 2 of the Arsenal Career Mode though. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to subscribe and get those notifications on so you know when it's going up. Like always, Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 4 PM UK time. Also get the notifications on so you know when we do other videos. If we post some other videos, you don't want to be missing out on those. Make sure to drop a like to show support for the series. Likes always help us out and show that you are interested. And make sure to comment as well. Should we have played more of the cup, or was we right just to sim? Just to try and get through it and catch up to the Premier League for the second episode. But like always, that's where we are going to leave it. We'll see you guys later.